Good day, everyone. Welcome to Creative Writing subject for Week 5 and Week 6 lessons, and I am your subject teacher, Mrs. Glyza M. Heron. For today's lesson, Quarter 1 Lesson 4, our competency is various elements, techniques, and literary devices in various modes of fiction. After going through this lesson, you are expected to 1. Identify the various elements, techniques, and literary devices in various modes of fiction, and 2. Appreciate some literary pieces which use identify the various elements, techniques, and literary devices. To begin with, let us identify first what is literature. Literature is any written work. It is derived from the Latin term literatura, which means writing formed with letters. Oftenly, literature is any writing that has literary merit and language that foregrounds literariness as opposed to ordinary language. Why study literature? So there are 3 reasons why we have to study literature. First, because it serves as an art form used for expression. Through literature, you can express yourself more. Second, it preserves cultural ideals, customs, and morals. That's why there are different culture and backgrounds that we can study based on the literature that we have. And lastly, it gives us a deeper context into the lives and livelihood of people distinct from ourselves. In literature, we also have what we call as genre. So what is a genre? A genre is a French word which means kind or sort, is a term for any category of literature or other forms of art or entertainment, whether it is written or spoken, audio or visual, and based on some set of stylistic criteria. So look at the given graphic organizer. So as you will see, there are different divisions of literature. So literature can be oral literature, written literature, and visual literature. So under this oral, written, and visual literature, it is divided into 2. So we have prose and poetry. In the previous lessons, we are already done discussing about poetry. So for this lesson, we will focus about prose, which is divided into 2 divisions, fiction and non-fiction. So what is a prose? When we say prose, it is a form of language that possesses ordinary syntax and natural speech rather than rhythmic structure in poem. Along with its measurement in sentences rather than lines, it really differs from poetry. The normal everyday speech is spoken in prose, and most people think and write in prose form. Prose comprises of full grammatical sentences, which consists of paragraphs and forgoes aesthetic appeal in favor of clear, straightforward language. It can be said to be the most reflective of conversational speech. Some works of prose do have versification in a blend of the 2 formats that is called prose poetry. So this means that prose consists of different paragraphs, and these paragraphs consist of different sentences wherein it should be in conversational speech. Compared with a poem or poetry, poem is written in different stanzas, and stanzas are divided into different lines and often use rhythmic patterns such as sound devices and figures of speech. So in the given examples, you will be seeing first an example of poem, wherein this is from a popular work of Robert Frost. So this one is what we call as poetry verse, while the second example is the same sentiment written in prose form or in what we call as the paragraph form. Just looking at the given examples, I am hoping that you already have the idea between the difference of poetry from prose. This example is what we call something written in prose form or in paragraph form. As you see, it is divided into different sentences, unlike the first example. So there are 4 common types of prose. We have what we call as the non-fictional prose, second, fictional prose, third, the heroic prose, and 4, the prose poetry. So let us differentiate these 4 types of prose. So let us have first the non-fictional prose. So when we say non-fictional, it's more on a true to life. So do not forget that these are written in paragraph form. So what are the examples of this non-fictional prose? So we have essays, biographies, autobiographies, which are purely based on fact, although it may contain fictional elements in some cases only. Second type of prose is what we call as the fictional prose. So when we say fictional, this is something from the imagination of the writer. So these are what we have as the novels, the stories, what else? The fairy tales. So those are fictional, based on imagination only. Number 3, we have what we call as heroic prose. So when we say heroic, from the word hero, it is a literary work that might be recorded or recounted and which utilizes a significant number of the standard articulations found in oral custom. So what are the examples of this? So we have legends, we have stories, we have epics, wherein the main characters are heroes. For the fourth one, we have prose poetry, which is discussed earlier by giving example. So this shared more of the characteristics of a poem rather than a prose, but still it utilizes passionate impacts and elevated symbolism. However, again, these are written in exposition rather than section.